We're rolling. All right, come here, buddy. Hey, everybody. What's that? Say hey. This is Benji Button, everybody. This is the star of the show. Come on, say hello. There you go, good boy. He's my boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. You wanna go down? Okay. See you later. He's usually much more friendly than that, but he's not today. And with that, this is Storyville, episode 7. I didn't think we'd make it this far. I did. I can't wait till we're at episode 4 million. Today's episode is kind of fun, man. Today's episode is a little low-key. I'm a little tired. Just got off a flight. Literally just got off a flight. Zach Kohler just picked me up from the airport. Old Zachy Poo just picked me up from the airport. And this is going to be a hell of an episode. So as always, thanks for hanging. Welcome to Storyville. Also, as always, what am I drinking? It's a Narragansett. It's a Narragansett. Fuck them. It's a Narragansett, the Bohemian Pilsner. I consider myself a Bohemian. I walk around without shoes sometimes. It's a beer. I'm having a beer because I'm tired of shit. And I had a show. I was in L.A. This is a recent development. I don't think I talked about it. Yeah, man. I was in L.A., so I had a show, and I was on a flight at 1 a.m. Took the red eye back home so I could shoot this pod. But, of course, I get delayed in Philly. It was awful. But we're shooting it. Sorry, it's late. Thank you for being friends. Thanks for hanging. We're having a great time. This is going to be a long episode, so you can go to YouTube to catch the rest of it. Quote of the week. It's a new thing I love doing. You know that. Quote of the week, it's lead a horse. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I like that because it is true, sure, right? But I don't like that that's the end of the quote. Because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Am I just supposed to leave the fucking horse? I paid money for that horse. I spent all the time getting the horse to the water, training the horse, brushing the horse, paying for the horse in its trips that it needs to go for its hooves, and I put all this work and effort into this horse, and I just give up because it's not going to drink the water? No. I teach it to drink water. I taught it how to walk. Because what if I just leave the horse and then somebody else finds the horse, right? Somebody else comes up and just finds this horse, and then they're like, wow, look at this beautiful horse. Who could have just abandoned this beautiful horse? I'm going to take it back. They're not even noticing that it's not drinking the water. They're like, it's obviously it's by water. It must have been drinking water, and it's here by itself. I'm gonna take this horse and I'm gonna bring it to my stable. And then they start hanging out with the horse, and the horse is great, right? It's trolloping around. It's a beautiful horse. Everybody loves this horse. It's so compatible, right? It's a great horse. And then he goes, oh, you must be thirsty. Let's get you some water. And then he brings it over to the water hole, and it won't drink. And he goes, okay, I'm starting to see a pattern. Was it the horse, or was it the horse trainer, or was it the horse? It's probably this horse, right? So then he's going to leave it, right? And then somebody else is going to stumble around and be like, look at this beautiful horse. And then the cycle will continue. So no, just because it doesn't drink, you don't leave it. You don't give up on it. You can lead a horse to water. Well, you took it there. Teach it how to fucking drink, all right? Sometimes horses don't go easy. Takes some taming. You got to break it in. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Yes, you can. Make it drink. Don't make it drink. Teach it to drink. Teach it that it's okay to drink. Teach it that it can be vulnerable, and it can let its guard down around you to drink. This is not about a horse. That's the quote of the week. That's it, guys. The show's starting. Let's do this. Also, send your stories, guys. This week I'm doing the story. This week is actually really funny. It's from Zach himself, my wonderful, long-haired, awkwardly built producer, old Zachy Poo. It's a good story. It is. So I'm very excited. I have stories, but just keep sending me, guys. I want to be able to look through a lot. I don't want to have to be like, I guess I'll do this one. Some of them are great. Some of them are not so great. So keep sending stories at Storyville_pod. Send me some stories. Let's have some fun. And let's do that kind of stuff. Now, I just got back from L.A. L.A. was cool, man. I like going out there. I've got so many goddamn miles. It's basically free to go out there. I stay with friends, so it's just great. It's a great way for me to go out there and network and kind of and I just have so many good friends out there, right? It's just so fun to get to L.A. and just hang. And I was on some really great shows, but I was delayed at the airport. I was supposed to land in LA at 7. I was going to run right to a show at the Improv. I got delayed in Philly for 15 hours. Winter storms. Winter's coming. Winter is coming. and it came all over my face and my travel plans. So I missed 2 good shows, but I still got to LA, and I got to do 2 podcasts I was actually really excited about. Marco Del Vecchio is a pal of mine. He's actually from the area I live now. He's from this East Coast area, and he lives out in LA now. He's a good friend, man. And I did his podcast called Smoochie Town, where we did, and it's so funny. You think you're just going to be funny. You think you do a fun little hang, right? Brittany Ferlin showed up, which I never got a chance to meet her, and she was wonderful. She really was such a delight. We got along so well. She's really great. I got to do a show with her the next night. She's such a treat, man. A lot of people don't know this because they know she's a Vine famous and she's a social media influencer. They don't know she started in stand-up, right? So she's been doing this shit. She's got her chops. She's so good. She's so fun. She's such a sweet gal. So, Brittany Ferlin, it's awesome hanging with you. Marco, thank you for having me on that podcast. You go check it out. When it comes out, obviously I'll post about it, but that was such a fun fucking hang. It was great to get out there. We talked a lot about life, relationships, comedy. It was really fun, dude. It was a really good one. And then I got to do an old friend, who this is an interesting one. I don't know if you guys know who Armie Hammer is. He got in trouble for, but he didn't. Right? He got king shamed. If he was gay, they would never king shame him. But the straight white male can't like anything crazy. You can't like nothing crazy no more. If you're gay, you can do all the crazy shit you want. But if you're straight, if you would have said like, "Oh, I'm gay too, guys," they would have been like, "Oh, okay, he's just experimenting. He's just finding himself." At 39, I don't know how old he is. Fuck, he still looks young. I think he came out of the womb 6'5" and gangly. Like, I think he came out of the womb with that big, beautiful head and that long body, and his mother was never the same. They actually thought it was just she's like, "You have another leg now." And she was like, "No, it's a baby." So I got to do his podcast, Hammer Time. It's really good. That one we got deep. Got more emotional than I thought I would during that one. I didn't cry. I held together. But it was fun, man. It was nice. It was. I love seeing him. It was nice to rekindle that friendship because when everything went down with poor old Armie, we kind of lost touch. I texted him a bunch, tried to check on him because we worked on a film together in New Orleans, where I'm from, and we got to know each other really well, man. And it was a great time. Right, we became very good friends, and I hadn't heard from him in years because of the COVID one, and just also, he got canceled, kind of. Not anymore. He's back. He's doing movies just in Croatia. They don't send canceled people to Croatia. They send soldiers there or movie stars. And so he's back working in film. I actually have a joke that I told him that it's pretty funny. I had a joke that I told on stage when I found out we were friends again, which is a funny story. I found out we were friends again because I've been texting him. I texted him like the course over like 4 years, just like checking in on you, man, see how you're doing. I see articles. I just want to check on his mental health, check on him as a friend, see how he's doing. And he never texts me back. So one day I'm in LA and he goes, "Hey, Fonz," is what he calls me. It's an old nickname. So he goes, "Hey, Fonz, I saw you're in LA, man. Your career's going dope. That's so awesome. I'd love to hang with you sometime." I go, "Fuck yeah, man. Let's get together." So he comes, and this is last month when I was in LA. And we hang out, we rekindle a friendship, and it was great. We kept in touch, and I went and did his podcast this go around. It was such a fun fucking time. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, I've been texting you for years, thinking about you, wondering if you're doing okay, and you're not texting me back." And he was like, "Oh, I had to change my number." I go, "That makes a lot of sense. I should have just Instagrammed you." So that was fun, man. Armie, thank you so much for having me. Every time I'm in LA, he's going to be a pal. We'll get dinner. He's got 2 beautiful children, 10 and 8. He's got a picture, actually, one of the kids is holding him. It's very funny. It was a good time. Smoochie Town was awesome. I don't want to give too much amount away. Go watch them when they come out. Smoochie Town and Hammer Time. And obviously, when those come out, I'll post about it. But yeah, that was a great fucking time, man. We had a great time. So LA was cool. I got to do a show at the Laugh Factory, and it was a fun crowd. I say fun crowd, man. It just, I went up there and I'm hot and ready. I'm pushing the boundaries. Black History Month, we made some jokes that are very funny. I didn't say any slurs, but, you just poke fun at things, and they were off board immediately. So I took some time to kind of get them back, wading through the waters. And finally, we found our stride, and we had a good time, man. But as soon as I got off stage, I went to go talk to Marco and said, "I love you." Me and Brittany said goodbye. I'm getting emotional. No. Mark Hayes was there. I got to see Mark Hayes, said goodbye. Ocean Glapion, which is crazy. First open mic I ever did in my life. First open mic I ever did 12 years. I did comedy 12 years ago for the first time. 13 years ago, maybe. 14. Yeah, I was 19 when I was in LA. I went to school in LA. 14 years ago, I do an open mic at the Improv. And I didn't do comedy again for like 7 years. But I do it. It actually went okay. But I just want to see if it's like, oh, I'll try this comedy thing. I've always loved comedy, right? I've always loved stand-up. I was always stand-up there. I went to shows all the time. I kept going to shows after. But he hosted the open mic. That's how crazy this business is. He was on the show with me. He toured with Dion Cole. He's toured with a bunch of these prominent comedians, and now he's got his own career. He's etching out his own path. He's doing very well. And he was on the show last night, and I got to see him, and I go, holy shit, do you know that you hosted the first show I ever did? And he goes, are you sure? I go, you used to host open mics at the Improv. He goes, yeah. We go, it was definitely fucking you. And he gave me great advice. I came off and he goes, that wasn't very funny, but your writing's there. He said, you definitely have a little river. He called it, I'm paraphrasing, but he just gave me it was very helpful, nice advice. And then I took that advice and didn't put it to use till 7 or 8 years later. So thank you, Ocean. So LA was a successful trip, man. It was fun. I just got back. I took a red eye. I got off stage, said bye to everybody, took a red eye straight back home so I could do this pod. That's the only reason. I wanted to get fucking hammered last night with everybody. But I was like, I got responsibilities. And I wanted to see my old Benji boy who you saw earlier in the episode. So that was great, man. I had a lot of fun. I'm back home now. I got a bunch of exciting shows coming up. I think they're sold out, so I'm not even going to plug them. But if you want to know about what I'm doing, you can go to my Instagram, Alex Cureau, and I will post about it. That's that, guys. It's on to sports. Sorry, nerds. False start. Penalty on the flag. I'm sounding like I don't know sports at all. Big sports guy. Technical foul on the pitcher. No. Sports time. It's going to be short. Last week it was long. Some of you complained. Hey, fucking pieces of shit. This is my play. Skip it. Sports time, dude. First week of Saints, new head coach Kellen Moore. I thought nobody wanted that job. Turns out they had the guy all along, and they were just waiting for him to win a fucking Super Bowl, and that's what he did. I don't know how I feel about him, though. I don't like a guy that's in his 30s that can't grow a beard. Got to be honest with you. I don't love that. But he seems to be making some pretty good hires. He's poaching a lot of guys from those Eagles staff, which is what you want. You want championship contenders. People think the Saints are failing. We're going to have a couple rough years, right? We are. We're in cap hell. We got a lot of old players. We're a new system. Everything's coming along. But with draft capital and how this league works, it's going to be fun to watch the growth. I think there's some real promise here. It's going to take a few years, but there's some real promise. Everything's a win. People get mad at the Saints for sucking. I'm like, look at the Patriots. They fired their coach, one year coach. Tom Brady retired. Belichick retired. They have been a completely different franchise. You got to give it some time. And we got to get a quarterback. I like Derek Carr. I do, but it doesn't seem like he wants to be there. Maybe he does. But this coaching staff, they're like, So we'll see, man. Stanley Cup Finals are coming. I didn't write down enough, and I told you I'd keep sports short and simple, so that's what I'm doing. I'm excited about Kellen Moore. I'm excited about the hires he's making. The Saints are on the up and up, better than the Pelicans are doing. So that's sports, nerds. It's over. Nerds, it's done. That's it for sports. Takes a sip. All right, guys, it's the Storyville portion of Storyville. It's time for a story. This one's a good one. Get one more sip to get for the throat. For the throat. And that beer's done. The last sip of beer is always the worst sip of the beer. That sucked. This next story. This story is from Zachy Poo himself. Zachy K. Zach Kohler. The cooler Zach. Kohler Zach. Zach Kohler. Fuck off, dude. You gotta have your name's so basic. I know. He sent one in. He's like, I want to send in a story. I was like, sure, yeah, you can do whatever. And I know Zach. He's a creative dude. I didn't think he had anything interesting going on. He's got some interesting things going on. This story's nuts. I usually don't read stories, but I was like, oh, it's my friend. I'm going to read his story. So you might want to go to YouTube. The link is in my bio, just like a porn addict, porn girl. You can go click the link in my bio to go to YouTube. Watch the full episode, man. Don't miss it. It's awesome. Thank you for coming. Maybe you can share it. Send it to a friend you think needs a laugh. All right, here it is. A few years ago, I was really interested in this girl. You're not gay? Got him. I actually know his girlfriend a whole lot, Tess. She's really wonderful. She's really great. I did her podcast with, who's that other asshole? What is it? Boy Scout? What is it? I was kidding. No, his girlfriend and her sister Tess and Scout, they have a really wonderful podcast. They tried to get me in trouble. Like, I do their podcast. We talk about Matt for 5 minutes, and all the clips are just like me calling Matt a bitch. So I was a little mad at him for a while. That's actually why I'm not paying Zach. No, they're very wonderful people. They've accepted me all bars. They're some of my first friends I've made when I moved over here, so it's very nice to have them. It's very nice. She's great. They have a bunch of events around town, so go check them out too. What's the name of the pod?
Cunt. See you next Thursday.
Oh yeah, duh. How did I forget that? Their podcast is called See You Next Thursday. Cunt. So it's pretty good. They have a lot of cool events. They do so many things. They're very prominent in the Providence area, so go check them out, guys. Anyway, back to the story. A few years ago, this is from Zach's perspective. A few years ago, I was really interested in this girl. You're not gay? Got him. She was a very religious person. He's gay. Her and her family are Christians and went to church every weekend. Are Christians? Catholics are the ones. Christians are the ones that are like, we believe in God, but we don't follow his rules. Catholics are the ones like, we follow his rules. I'm pretty sure. They went to church every weekend. Well, that's like the baseline religion, right? I feel like if you're very religious and you're like, I go to church, I'm very religious. I go to church once every month. You're like, you're not very religious. But if you're like, I'm very religious. I go to church every Sunday. I go, that also doesn't mean you're very religious. Like, I'm very religious. I haven't had sex ever. I've never even looked at a woman. I flog myself. Me on the other hand, this is Zach, he says, me on the other hand, not religious whatsoever and have never been to church my whole life. That's really? That feels weird, right? Like, I feel like you go to church. Like, I feel like you just step in one day. I feel like you go, it's Christmas time. I'm going to go to church. That's crazy. You've never been to church your whole life? Well, sit down. I'm about to preach. One time she invited me to go to church with her family. I accepted. Okay. How old were you?
Probably 19.
Oh, okay. So 14 years ago. No. Okay, so he was 19 at the time. So that makes a little bit of sense, I guess. But that's still weird just I've never gone to church. I don't even know what's going on. You could drink there. He gets there. He's like, they're drinking wine? Shit. There's snacks. I should have been coming this years ago. I said I had no idea what to expect. Yes, you did. You're like, what's going to happen? Are they going to, which priest am I going to choose? Of course I had no idea what to expect. What an idiot. The week before I was supposed to go to church with them, the abortion law, Roe v. Wade, thank you, when none of us knew what it was overturned. Ooh. That's interesting. Personally, I thought this was a terrible thing that happened. Personally, oh, he's so brave. But then I walked into church on Sunday. We walked to our seats and the pastor comes out. I know where this is going. You do too. You guys know. Pastor comes out. The first words out of the pastor's mouth was, I want to celebrate the huge success we had this past week with Roe versus Wade. Like God was in the judge's robe. Like God was like, boom, boom. I was completely shocked. Then the crowd started cheering. I look over at my girlfriend and she was cheering too. Now I don't know what to do. You fuck her. Right there and then. You fucking put a little holy water in that pussy. I have exorcised demons. Next thing the pastor says was, no one should ever have the right to kill a baby. I'm making him Southern because it just sounds like a place that's like, even though this is clearly East Coast. No one should have a fucking right to kill a baby. That wasn't a very good one. Abortion is not the answer. I should have been aborted. Oh, the pastors. I thought you were like, I was so nervous. I wish I was aborted. I was so nervous that I was in the wrong place that I was like, why couldn't have I been dead so I don't have to be dealing with this? The pastor says, I should have been aborted. I'm the product of rape and incest. And look at me now. Oh my God. I cannot believe these words were coming out of his mouth. Next thing the pastor said was, if you should have been aborted, come up here to the stage. I love that he called it a stage. He knows it's a performance. Religion is stupid. I'm saying it. It's fucking comfort food for the weak and uneducated. Come up to the stage right now. crowd started cheering uncontrollably. Dude, were you in a black church? I couldn't believe what was going on. I'm trying not to laugh. Oh, that's actually pretty funny. When shit like that goes down, I'm just kind of like, let's see what's gonna happen. So I'm trying not to laugh. I look over to the right to see my girlfriend's parents proceed to walk up to the stage. What church is this? Everybody just getting raped and gangbanged? Oh, were all their parents in prison? Where was this church? Fucking, where was this church? Angola? Jesus Christ. I couldn't believe what was going on. I'm trying not to laugh. I couldn't hold my laughter. I said to my girlfriend, what the actual fuck? Needless to say, I stopped talking to that girl and never went back to church since. And I've had 3 abortions. That's not, I added that part. That's a good story. That's the kind of story we need at Storyville. Religion's not dumb. I get it, man. I never want to take away from anybody if they need to find comfort in a place. I find comfort in music. I find comfort in work. I find comfort in my friends. But if religion it's not stupid. But don't forget, it was made to control you. That is episode 7. Thank you guys so much for hanging. Please go follow. Send me stories. Go check out the merch link. That's our show. Bye, everybody. Bye.